Right, yeah. Okay, welcome to the August meeting, take two. So, yep, we are recording. Kevin's there from Mississauga.
Hi, Kevin.
I don't know where Blappy is tonight.
Hey,
Or
guys.
Harold. Is someone else there now? Nope, no, that's his bookcase. And that's us. That's us, yeah. All right, so anyway, yeah, welcome. I'm so pleased to see so many of you. Normally the August meetings are a bit late. We are hoping maybe to do an airbrush demo next month. I still have to reach out and do that. A couple of announcements, just a reminder, you have until October meeting to volunteer your name for it, one or two of you for a show committee. It doesn't mean you're doing the whole show, but we do need someone to be responsible. I know, scary thought. If we don't hear from October, there's no show. Just, your executive's too busy. So we do need some other people. There are previous show committees who are willing to help, but we do need some fresh blood, and we want some people in. And I know I've already had people asking about the show. Okay. All right. Other than that, I don't know what he's doing there. Mr. Secretary, do you have any items?
No, just Terry, anybody who owes me $15 for your fabulous card, please come up and
I would suggest you pay him. He's very annoying. Yeah. Yeah. You pay, you pay now. All right. Anything from our treasurer, sir?
bring everybody up to date. We finally got caught up on the last couple of years of finances and got everything straightened out. Just to summarize very easily, we have approximately about $500, $450 in the bank, $50 cash float that we keep all the time. And we're totally paid up. All our normal costs are paid till the end of the year. So with the dues and that, we'll do well. We should be in good shape to have the pizza party the fall, December. And yeah, we're doing well.
Good. All righty. Terry, is there anything from IPMS Canada?
Yes, but I can't tell you.
Okay, that's fine. It's a secret. They found the missing Avro arrow. That's what it is. It's in one of their houses. It's in Steve's house, probably. All right. So before we go around the tables, I know one or two people wanted to chat about something. You're on deck first, sir. I'm just going to put this on you.
I work at 3M, and I have for 20 years, and I have a stash of 3M stuff. I'm going to be bringing out freebies every meeting. Whatever's in this box, look through it, take what you want. Okay, this is from my own personal stash of stuff that 3M has donated / I've pilfered over the years. So
I did mention on the recording,
help yourselves if you clean that out. Hopefully, I'll bring more next time.
And for the record, by filter, you mean generously provided by.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, did someone else wanted a word or two, I believe?
I've got a bunch of magazines here. Have a government.
Okay, thank you.
It's a book.
Oh, he's got a book. All right, so let's start going down the tables with some absolutely awesome things. We're going to start with the Lancaster book.
Yeah. Well, I brought in the Canadian Warplane Heritage 50 years celebratory book that they published this spring, and it's fantastic. Take a leaf through it. It is not for distribution, so it's just I love it so much. But it's a beautiful book. It's really well done, and if you're all interested in CWM or HM, whatever it is, it's worth taking a look at.
I don't know if anyone knew, they did make a decision that they're not going to be flying the Lancaster this year. They did swap out an engine, but they decided that they need a lot more re-engineering. So they made the difficult decision not to fly her this year. But they will, of course, next year. Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah. All righty. Sir. Francis. Got some armor there.
Yeah, so I brought in the first two kits. They're both trumpeters. The first one's it's a T-72 B2, which when we research products, it's pretty cool. The Russians had an excellent tank in 2006. and said, oh, too many zlotys, we can't afford it, so let's make a crappy B3. It's a typical trumpeter kit. Some parts fit, some parts don't. Came together pretty well. I'm not an airplane guy, so I'm not used to painting in stages, right? Armor guys, we just paint it all at once. So I had to paint the sides, then put it together, and then put the slat armor on, which was kind of fiddly. Nice kit. It came out really well, all things considered. I forced myself to build it in 5 days to see if I could. I was irritated with trumpeter. Came out kind of nice. So it's a nice kit. To me, a paint. It's the first time I ever used Surfacer 1500 as a primer, and love that stuff. It's nice. Smell of MLT is great in the morning, and came together well. The next kit is another trumpeter. That's their SDKFZ 7 half track. It's a late edition. It's up armored, and it's got a quad 20 mil on the back. So everything is trumpeter except for the gun, which is a Tamiya gun. The kit gun shield is all photo etch, and to say it got the better of me would be an understatement. So there's bits of photo etch in my basement that'll never be found. So I just waited for a donor part. It's a great kit. The tracks are fantastic. They're super detailed, went together really well. They're technically workable. You could roll the wheels. Overall, pretty good for trumpeter kit. Plastic was nice, but I had to swap it out to get a Tamiya. And then it was nice because I stuck in some add-ons to give it that homey look, right? There's some incidentals tossed in to give it some life. But overall, nice kit. Again, all just Tamiya paints. Pretty simple build.
Okay, then we've got a wide variation.
What's that?
We have a wide variation.
Oh, yes. The first bit is a piece of terrain or two pieces of terrain that I'm building for my next wargaming table. The one piece is a rail embankment, and all that is a piece of foam brick used for flower stuff, like flower arranging from the dollar store. So that's $1.75, and that's half of it. So one brick makes two pieces of rail embankment, and then some used track from Brofdale, which was, I think, $1 a length or less. Actually, it was $6 for a dozen, so 50 cents a length. The next piece is a railway station / grain silo done in wood that would be seen on the Russian front in the area of Kursk in 1943. And that's all made from black foam board from the dollar store, coffee stir sticks from the dollar store, and then sandpaper, because I know a guy. So that's all like less than $10 worth of stuff right there to make some pieces of terrain. And that foam brick that cuts like butter, like you just a little saw and you just right through it. It's amazing. I haven't sculpted it yet to make it, a little more homogeneous terrain, but when I do, like I'm looking forward to it because it's going to come out really nicely. So those are works in progress. The next piece is the U-boat. That is a 7C. And I've done it up as a specific U-boat. Now I need to look it up because I forgot. There we go. I think it's U617. Yeah, U617, captained by Albert Brandy. And this particular boat was launched in France and then crossed into the Mediterranean in early 1943. And then it participated in several battles in the Mediterranean and then was finally sunk and grounded, and its entire crew survived and was interned by the Spanish in Morocco. And the captain escaped and returned to Germany to go back to command boats later on in the war. That's the Rebelle kit. It's balanced, like it's weighted to float at the waterline. So I floated the pool. I put a video on actually earlier this summer where I had it out for the day and was floating in the pool. I like to do that every year with kids. It's fun.
The troops on the crew on the deck are all Revell figures. They are they have ball bearings in their bases, and then underneath the deck there are magnets to hold them onto the deck so they can be removed and then put back on the deck. And then if you're floating into the pool, they won't fall off.
Be cool.
It's got a little bit of battle damage. I've had to replace the antenna a couple of times. And then the tallest telescope is missing its very top because that was busted off and it's placed in the pool somewhere. So, but yeah, I made the base. That's not the base that came with the kit. I made the base. I didn't like the base that came with the kit because it was going to scratch the crap out of the paint job. So I made that. That's an old piece of honest 2x4 from the first house I owned. And I cut that off and then screwed those brackets into it to mount the U-boat on. Yeah. And then the last, the three Su-76s are all UM models made out of Ukraine. These were really nice to put together. Like, I mean, they're cheaply made and the screws are very simple, but most things fit together quite well, except for maybe the track, which I weathered a little extra, put a little bit of extra mud and such on there to hide the deficiencies. And they're made up a little bit differently. The center one has an antenna, so that's supposed to be the platoon commander's vehicle. And then one vehicle has the driver's hatch open and there's a driver in there that you can see. The other vehicle has a little bit of a cam net that I scratch made out of a piece of like fiber cloth. Yeah, and so I really like those. They turned out nicely. They're a little bit shiny because I coat them after, because these are made for my wargaming table, so they get handled quite often. I could dull them down with a little bit more dry brushing, but I might not. So there you go. That's my stuff.
All right, you did the Gundam?
That was made in the white one.
Yeah.
That's a very old, like 1990 era Gundam F91 kit. That was a kit when I was first getting into this stuff that I really wanted. And for some reason, there was a kit that I never got. It never showed up. So, okay, it's not like I was really lost for anything to build. So a few years ago, I think just before COVID, actually, Hobby Toy Central got in a bunch of, I guess Bandai decided, holy, everybody's doing retro stuff. We should too. And they repopped a bunch of old stuff. And so it was stuff I didn't care. And one of it was the F91. I'm like, oh, it's awesome. So I got it. It's really a kit from, 1990 odd. You can tell it's nowhere near up to modern standards, but even so, it's still not a bad kit. You got to muscle it around a little bit with the seams. So what? You sand it. It's no worse than a matchbox, and you guys know what I think of that. So it went together really well, but I wanted to paint it differently. I have a 1/144th. I have a master grade, and they're all going to be the same color. So I'm like, well, I don't know. There's not a lot of variation on this thing. And then I found that Bandai had just released this 2-pack of something from a comic that I don't know anything about, but it was all white. Like, okay, that's cool. So I just painted it as the all white and blue version. And I thought no one's going to have a 1/100th of that. So that's pretty awesome. And like I say, it was a very quick build. It's a very simple kit. It's got the giant green beam shield, which means you'll sell me the kit immediately regardless. So that's something I always like. It's not superposable, but it just needs to stand there and look awesome. So that's good. It's all hand painted as usual. And then I just flat coated it with my airbrush. So lots of fun, a real blast to finally get one like 30 years after I wanted it. And just, it looks great on the shelf. And really with the modern painting techniques, it's hard to tell it apart from a new kit. So it's really good. I think the next ones are Pete's.
There. Go ahead, Peter.
The first one, the biggest one, is a Wave Gladiator from Machine and Skriger. For the most part, it's 1/20th scale. It was a nice kit, but it had a lot of fit issues, especially with the legs. And some very delicate parts, one of which is one of the smoke launchers, which broke off in the box carrying it here. But I decided to go with basically a Northern Canada West Coast force scheme, which didn't quite go the way I wanted, but I was happy with it. The way I wanted it is actually on the bottom plate, which I can show you guys later. The smaller kits, there's the gray 7 Avente Bandai tank for the
That was the issue.
Federation tank, which came with a Zaku tank. Not Zaku tank, a Zaku in a mixed box of 2 tanks in the Zak, and that went together well, simple, easy. A lot of detailing to do with the panel lines, and the next kit was the APC, which came with the ground type Gundam. There's 2 different versions you can make. I made both of them, and I brought the one with the non-command version with the seismic sensor sticking out of it, so it can detect movements of troops via sound going through the ground. Also, a very nice, simple kit. It's in scale with the Gundams. The third kit, the yellow one, is the Magella attack tank. It came in a 2-pack and an EX model. Once again, nice, simple build, lots of detailing to be done on it. And the last one is I took the second kit, Magella attack kit, and did one of the field modifications where I took a Gundam Zaku cannon CK and mounted it because it had lost its legs in battle and couldn't be repaired. So I do basically field mods and put them on top of the tank hulls. And that's what I did with that. Took me a while to figure out how to attach it properly, and came out nice enough. And I decided to use the Vulcan Gatling cannon on it for basically air defense, and use the 2 Heat Hawks for close combat. And other than that, that's pretty much it.
The next monster on the table, Mr. Hill.
That's the, obviously an RCF Yukon. Base kit was a Mach 2, 1/72 scale Britannia, along with the aircraft and miniatures Yukon conversion. The primary paints are Tamiya. And the old name comes up every now and then, J-Bot decals. And I've got a satin overall coat on the upper side, and some little bit of flat around the engines, and a gloss finish on the other side. And they kept those relatively clean, other than some of the exhausting on the horizontal stabilizers. So that's about all I did to it. And that's it.
Absolutely fabulous. And then last but certainly not least, because I see an award there.
Those are a couple of the models I took with me when I went to the IPMS Nationals last month. The 109 is an Edward weekend edition kit. There's a group of us who are building, hopefully for Hamilton next year, a bunch of JG54 Green Hearts 109. So that will hopefully be part of that final display if we get to it for the Hamilton show next year. I painted the markings on there, the crosses, and the individual markings came from a Kagero Top Shots decal sheet. Decal sheet comes with one of their profile books. And the other one, I was a couple of years old, actually. I recall showing it on one of our Zoom meetings back in 2020, but it's to me, a P-51B Mustang that I built. Edward announced that they're doing one, so I kind of figured a couple of years ago they would. So I had it to me a Mustang in my collection. I figured I may as well build it before Edward comes out. I probably want to build the Edward kit. So anyways, I built that a few years back. That's Hugh Godfrey markings. He was the wingman of Don Gentili, the 4th Fighter Group. He was actually born in Canada, but moved to the United States when he was quite young. And he was rather notable after the war. He was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease in the 50s, and he sadly passed away in the early 60s. His biography is quite a good account of his wartime experiences and his battles with Lou Gehrig's disease at the time. Anyway, I was fortunate. I got a first place for my Mustang in thank you. In 48 scale Allied inline US mark aircraft. There are still 35 models in the category, but I think there was over 348 scale aircraft in the competition. So anyway, that's it for me.
That's freaking Godzilla here in all the glory. Here we go, sir. Start talking.
So I don't know if anybody was here last meeting. I had it here. I was having some trouble with some of the paint adhering to the tail. I forget whom, but somebody suggested that I use some oven cleaner to strip it. And I risked it and I did it, and it made it so that the paint actually adhered even better. So it partially etched the surface. So I did that on the whole thing, scrubbed it all off and started again from scratch. I decided to go with something darker as a base. And then when I tried to dry brush the violet, that's the secondary coat, I couldn't see it. So I had to dry brush it all over again with a lighter color, like a blue gray, and then a wash of violet. And I'm just waiting now to do the final dry brush, which will be the highlight coat. The model itself came in quite a few pieces. The tail is actually 3 pieces. The central torso is 2 pieces. Both legs are 2 pieces. There's actually 3 heads and necks that comes with it. Kind of didn't like the 3rd head. It has like a split jaw that I think is getting kind of overused. People are doing that a lot. And the arms and the head are held on with magnets. I wanted the tail to be held on with magnets. I thought I bought earth magnets, but turns out they were just regular magnets, so they're not nearly strong enough. So I kind of thought, well, I don't really need to glue it anyway because it sort of perches on the tail. So the tail is technically not even glued or connected really. And I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to finish it. The eyes I currently have finished, but they're masked right now with liquid mask. And yeah, it's something that I can't wait to finish. Which Godzilla is it? It actually was created by a 3D artist online known as Dope Pope. So it's actually a combination of a bunch of different suits and designs. It's not really something that we've ever seen in a movie. So yeah, that's why I went for it. There was only 30 of them made. Kind of. It's got that little bit of that in it. It's got the 2001 Godzilla in it, and a number of others. Yeah, it's got the Shin Godzilla sort of pointed collar detail there. But yeah, it's a combination of about 3 or 4 different suit designs or CG designs. Very cool. Thank you.
I know we mentioned IPMS Nationals. Do 2 of the gentlemen who went want to talk a little bit about it? I know there were record numbers, models and things of any.
There were, I don't know if they're record numbers. I'd heard that there was 2,800 models at the competition. It was the 2,800 entries because that also included the flex. Okay, all right. So I stand or sit corrected here. It was a very good experience. It's been a couple of years since I was able to go on a national, so kind of a neat to get back in the swing. The Americans had Vegas last year, but we couldn't go to that. Lots of vendors, lots of good deals to be had at the show, which was nice. It was was, it turned out to be a super spreader event. A lot of people came down with COVID as a result of the convention and afterwards, including my 2 travel companions that somehow I tested negative, but anyway. You want to
We have our theories.
Yeah, we have our theories. Would you like to add anything to that?
Oh, no, it's a good tour. As Duncan mentioned, there was lots of models on the table. The vendors were great. Unusual for me this year. I actually attended some of the seminars, and they were quite informative. Good. Interesting stuff. Where the in Omaha, where the convention was held, it's been there for 3 times now. It's the same hotel, same convention center. Rooms were good, food was decent. Beer was free between 5 and 7. Took advantage of that. And we had some fun.
Photographic.
Yeah, yeah. Some of that was staged.
I know, I'm
do
sure it
admit.
was. You know, with the IPMS Canada executive.
You know, the showing up at 5 to 7 when it closes at 7, so you want to turn in your tickets on the last night. You want to turn in your ticket, take advantage of it. Suddenly, we were best friends to everybody. So, yeah. If you have not been to an IPMS USA National, I highly recommend it, other than the whole COVID thing. They're a lot of fun. It's very, very unusual, unique event. And the time we got there on Wednesday, that's the first time we were there, the first day. And it goes pretty quickly. There's always coming.
There wasn't one this year.
There wasn't one this year. We tried hard getting enough people to do the judging, but there were very few and far between, and so with the limited number, we decided that was going to be taking up too much time for people to volunteer. So we're going to do something different.
So next year is in Texas. It's back to Boston.
Madison.
Madison, Wisconsin.
That's close to their home. It's worth definitely checking something like that. What's the difference?
And just for Madison in 2 years, which you're saying it is fairly close. They're having tours of the EAA from there, and also the Harley Davidson factory or museum in Milwaukee, I guess it is. Yeah. Yeah. So
Great.
there's a couple of good trips lined up for next.
Awesome. Great news. All right. Does anyone else have any other modeling news or news that members of the group might find interesting? Peter?
I have voice note, but never get around to it. Best offer.
All right. Peter's got a haunted car, Christine, for sale. All right. Anyone else have any news? Anything else they want to share? No? God, all quiet. It must be summer. Okay, we are having a 50-50 draw tonight.
Just come and see me if you want.
Yep, come and see it. Jerry's got his custom tickets. They could be worth something one day, so, you know, hang on to them. All right, and that's about it. So we'll start some social time. We will put the 3M box back here. And we'll go from there. See, you can keep the cat lint off you. How was that, Kevin? Was that okay? Good.
I did. That's what I do.
Can't hear you. You're muted, I think. Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted now. Sorry for that. Yeah, it was perfect. Photographs are great, except there wasn't a photo of the award-winning Edward Mustang.
Yeah, isn't that great?
No, I didn't, but there's no photo.
Oh, I thought I shot one. Hang on, let me have another
You
look.
got a little portion of it.
Oh, Jesus, hang on. Let me take care of that right now. No, it's right beside it. I got it.
Okay.
I'll go look. Hang on. I'll go look. Maybe I cropped it.
Too much rain.
You know, this is what happens with live TV, right?
Well, I thought beyond that was excellent.
All right, hang on. Let me have a peek here. Now, unfortunately, you just have to see everyone's ass.
Well, a couple of years. You know, just flying on. Well, it's still around, right? So it's going. It's well, it's like you said, you got a lot of older guys.
Number between 40 and 49.
Just in case. I just find it too hot right now.
Yeah, I thought I included that picture from the gallery, so hang on, let me correct that. Oh, that's a mix. Here we Let me just tidy that up. Helps if I sign in as the right account.
One for one, $1 for one ticket, $2 to get three, $5 to get last. Next $2 for free. They're getting good.
But you know what? I have friends that play hard. If you like to, I can friend you up and I can invite you to my Facebook group.
Okay, have a look now, Kevin, it'll be in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'll refresh it.
To go back to the
Anybody else
post.
want a 50-50? It's too nice. Three prizes.
Three? Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Okay, good.
That looks so awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll steal off.
Well, I can still invite you.
I've been looking for a new book.
Yeah.
With Carrie too again.
Selling tickets here? Yes, I am. I'll take $5. Well, I do usually. But sometimes it's like.
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
Okay, these are your new tickets. Okay, yeah.
Okay, they're not a kinetic format.
See how organized you are.
You did spell it right?
Yeah.
Here's the P in the middle. Sorry. I know, I wasn't reading it. It's done skillfully.
is that? Because I know you're doing that on
That's what I'm doing.
Scratched up. Am I too late? No. What's the cost again?
One ticket per dollar, 3 tickets for $2, 9 tickets for $5.
They come out and start telling me they know better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
99.
They don't like it.
Looks like my kids, it's like my kids, right? I've been living here for 5 years. One of them live here.
Jeff's your.
No, it's when they do
Go for a slide?
I had a bit of a encounter with some.
You don't want that.
No, I want something down.
Oh, yeah. To me, the kids are awesome.
We've never done one.
We've done 2 so far.
Extra fine and they're not cheap.
And I'm a hack, right? I do that stuff, so to go from that to this.
Scale is there?
112. Yeah, yeah. I think I've got 2 of them so far. Yeah, these things are gorgeous. They're a bitch to paint, but they're gorgeous. Love to build another one. That's Jeff's, so I don't want to intrude too much. I know that they're hard to find. That's what I heard too. Cigar racers.
What goes, I got about 5 or 6.
And I got some bottle pack of Euro.
It's the,
Hey, last call for
epitome of
50/50 tickets? Yeah. Well, yeah, listen, I do that, but I love, like, when I grew up as a kid, I had a race set, it was a cigar racer. So, watch that stuff. One day.
they're beautiful. They're all the time you went closer.
I saw that. There's an old race car, which is Atelieri, makes a. Relay or something like that. It's okay, he's using the new math. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
I get the right number, but I look at it and doubt myself.
It's all good. It's okay. I have the big five account. I have the big five accountants. They audit them every year and glowing reviews. All right. So what, 1 through 108? 1 through 108?
Want me to give it a last call?
I already did. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna do the draw.
Yeah.
Oh, we still got time, last minute.
One ticket for $1, two for three for $2, 9 for $5. Give you a couple of bucks.
And in the interest of transparency, I will share the random.org when I bring it up. Kevin's gone for the night.
Oh, he's gone for the night?
Yeah, I
Okay, so we're done.
already threw some pictures up.
Okay.
So yeah, he was able to see that. Yeah. I completely forgot to bring money, so. Who brings cash in? Okay, that's it then. We're closing it. Yeah, so let me know what it is. I'm sharing the random.org screen in the interest of transparency.
I'm almost there. Remember that?
Oh, looking good. Looking good.
That's when I got off you, remember?
Yep. That's good.
Boy, I'll tell you, it sat like this for 3 months.
That's fine. You do when you do. Yeah. Your life happens. Life
And I said,
happens.
where am I gonna get the paint again? Well, I gotta get my spring moved up to operational, right? Well.
That's all right.
The cash price is $42.
42. Okay. All right, guys, just quiet down for a few minutes, please. We're going to do the draw. I'm going to go through random.org between 1 and 111, right? First prize is $42. Hey, guys. Listen up. All right, pressing it once. The first number is 89. 89. Anyone? 89's got to be someone here.
Someone has 82 to 90.
Who has 89? Someone does. Remember, it'd be a range. Be a range. If you bought 9. Nope, I'm looking for 89. Come on, someone's got to have it.
Hey, anybody buy tickets back there? 68. Who bought? Just before this poor stuff. Whoever bought it after me. No, somebody left.
Somebody
I
left?
saw somebody leave.
All right, last call, going once, going twice. Sold. All right. Number 13. 1-3. All right, you have a choice of either the cash, the kit, or the sanding.
I
thingies.
got that.
Not the
already.
books,
I'll
'cause
take
Jeff would be
that. I'm giving that stuff away.
Oh, this box empty real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
I
right.
hope it does every time.
Second prize, second number. Survey says number 2.
Yeah, that's me.
Son of a bitch. That or that? You already took the money.
What, 172? That's my
Yeah.
scale. All right.
That's a nice scale.
I'll take
All
that
right.
one.
Thank you, sir. All right. One more for the various sanding products donated by Mr. Fay. 80. Here we go. After 20 years, you finally won some. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, everyone. It was a good night for 50-50.
Yep, awesome. We a lot more people than I expected.
You've got $20 worth of tickets.
Hey, it's fine. He wants to game it. He still has.
My expectation was blue on top of the black on top. The light, the one in the dark. And when it does go, it costs me one of them, so the other two I have.
To me is
The reason I don't really need a phone anytime. And then I realized what it was. That's what about everything else. It's all of you. Got most, now I'm just about one.
well, it is like
You see, someone scooped up all the aircraft magazines pretty damn quick. All right, this is Stuart, the club president. We're started socializing, so I'm going to turn off the feed. Thank you all. Don't forget, you can always join us live here every third Wednesday.